Welcome to Ask China, a special series focusing on important subjects related to the Chinese political system. China is playing an ever more important role in global governance and security affairs, as well as international cooperation and development. But China's role on the international stage has also come under greater scrutiny around the world, and voices of suspicion and unease often raise questions about what role China is really pursuing. I'm pleased to be joined by Ambassador Hua Liming, China's former ambassador to Iran, the UAE, the Netherlands, and to the UN Agency on the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons. We have collected questions from people in more than 10 countries around the world via CGTN's social media platforms, as well as the Q&A website Quora. Let's take a look.
I would ask them, what do they really think about our President Trump?
I would like to know if the United States and China could live in peace.
I think, first of all, Donald Trump is the choice of Americans. American people, they voted for that person to be the president. In China, we respect the choice of American people.
Y luego también me gustaría saber cómo un occidental puede llegar, o sea, puede viajar a China, cuáles son, si realmente hay facilidades, con la lengua, a ver si realmente, o sea, si realmente la sociedad pues tiene conocimientos de inglés.
Nowadays, the language situation is much better than 40 years before. I remember 40 years before, when foreigners came to China, almost nobody could speak foreign languages. Now, I wouldn't say all parts of China, at least in Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Hong Kong, of course, you can see the majority of people can speak English.
It's estimated that in the beginning of the 2030s, China might be the world's biggest economy. What would China want to achieve then?
First of all, economically speaking, I'm quite sure that by 2030, China will be biggest economy, but in terms of GDP only. For other economic terms, China still have a lot of things to do to surpass the United States or other Western countries, and including a country like Japan. So China still I think we need to be modest in it.
As China's business interaction with foreign countries deepen, especially along the Belt and Road Initiative, you will have greater political leverage and you will have greater political assets in that country which you want to protect. Is China aware of the situation? How does China want to assuage the kind of fear about China's growing political influence?
I would answer this question with one word, that China belongs to the world, and the world needs China. Means China is part of the world, and China can be prosperous, and China can be a developed country only with the sharing benefits with all parts of the world.
We've also collected some questions on the Chinese social media platform Weibo. So some people are asking how much time diplomats spend on practicing foreign languages.
As language, of course, the language knowledge is one of the conditions that people can be accepted in the Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But this is not only thing. Foreign languages, only those people to be official interpreters, they should master a language
really well.
Mm-hmm. But others can use the language to communicate with outside the world much more things. You should have very good knowledge about outside the world, as well as the condition, our motherland, our native land.
Absolutely.
What is going on in our country, and China, what is going to be China.
Yeah, we're going to wrap it there, but before we go, I'm going to leave you with this very tricky question. There's a saying, some people are saying, weak nations don't have diplomacy. What do you think? Do you agree? Well, feel free to go to CGTN's social media platforms and leave your answers, your comments to this question and, of course, to our discussion today. Thank you so much for having followed us on Ask China. I'm Liu Xin. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter using the handle The Point with LX. See you in the next episode.